Plastic is known as a miracle material for its versatility. It is used in cars, medical devices, gadgets, food packaging, and the list is endless. Almost every material we use has plastic footprints. As a result, more than 320 million metric tons of plastic are produced every year, with much of it accumulating in the oceans. Not surprisingly, our global ecosystem is at risk. Only 9% of the 9 billion tons of plastic the world has ever produced has been recycled. Most of it ends up in landfills, dumps, or in the environment. If current consumption patterns and the waste management practices continue, by 2050 there will be around 12 billion tons of plastic litter in the landfills and in the environment. So, this was the life cycle of the plastic. Let us get through the story of this miracle material. And it starts from 1862, when Alexander Parkes came up with Parkesine, a man-made plastic derived from organic cellulose. At the Great International Exhibition in London, England, Parkesine could be heated and molded into objects that would retain their shape when cooled. Many early examples of Parkesine products, that is cutlery handles, buttons, combs, can be found on display today at London's Science Museum. A few years later, in 1868, John Wesley Hyatt, he combined organic cellulose with camphor, improving the plastic's malleability, and named it celluloid 2 years later, that is in 1870. In addition to being a substitute for ivory in billiard balls, celluloid became popular as a substance used to make the first flexible photographic film for movies and the still pictures. But the big breakthrough, arguably the birth of the modern plastics era, came in 1907 with the invention of Bakelite by the Belgian-born American Leo Baekeland. It was the first synthetic plastic made from chemicals or the artificial substances rather than the natural ones. Bakelite can be colored and polished, so it began to be produced for and used for manufacturing domestic electrical appliances like toys, boxes, jewelry, lamps, car dashboards, and much more. Bakeland's work opened the floodgates to a touring of now familiar synthetic plastics. And after the World War I, improvements in chemical technology led to an explosion in new forms of plastics. The one-piece polyethylene shopping bag, which is now patented by a company known as the Swedish company Celloplast, it was designed by the engineer Sten Gustaf Pallen. The plastic bag quickly became to replace cloth and plastic in Europe, which was then named as that when the plastic bag was created. At a time when there were huge queues at the gas pump and like the surging oil prices, the first polyethylene terephthalate, that is PET, disposable soda bottle was introduced, that is in the year 1975. Made from petrochemicals, this disposable resin illustrated the irrational wastefulness of the mass production system. Then in the year 2011, 1 million plastic bags were consumed every minute worldwide. Surprising, isn't it? Then comes the main thing, 2017. Kenya's ban on plastic bags, which went into effect in 2017 is one of the strictest environmental laws on the whole list of the laws. Anyone in Kenya who is found to be selling or manufacturing or even carrying the bags could face fines of up to $38,000 or up to 4 years in prison. According to The Guardian, 50 people were arrested in the ban-related raids in February 2018, just a year later. In a shocker, bits of plastic have been detected in the faces of people in Europe, Russia, and Japan, and according to a research claiming to show for the first time the widespread presence of plastics in the human food chain. The scientists have speculated that the tiny specks, which were ranging in the size from 50 to 500 micrometers, may have been ingested via seafood, food wrapping, dust, or even plastic bottles. And now here the story ends of the miracle material, which is the plastic. I would request you all to please stop using plastic and help our environment, help our earth to last a little more longer, yeah? So don't forget to like this video if you gained some knowledge about it. Then comment on it how you felt it was. And at last, very important, the most vital thing, please subscribe to my channel to support me. Thank you so much for watching and see you soon.